One of the questions I often get asked is, how did I become a marine surveyor? And it's quite a long tale that takes me all the way back to the military, so let me share a bit of my background and lead you up to the point where the seed was planted in my head. Now, as a young man, I thoroughly enjoyed tinkering with bicycles, and then later on cars, and then motorbikes. Very mechanically minded, I thoroughly enjoyed taking things apart to work out how they worked and why they were made the way they were. So, it seemed fairly obvious to go and study mechanical engineering at university, which I did, and on completion of that, I was then commissioned into the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers and spent 17 years as an engineering officer in the British Army. During my time, I was very fortunate. I deployed in operations to Bosnia, Kosovo and Afghanistan, and went on training exercises in the Baltic, the Arctic, the jungle, the deserts, the mountains. I had a great time, and I left after 17 years, still with all of my fingers and toes, so I was luckier than some. Anyway, in the latter stages of my career, with about 2 years to go until I could reach my first retirement point, I was tasked with doing the amphibious confirmatory trials for the first of the Bay-class ships for the Royal Fleet Auxiliary for Mounts Bay. So we did amphibious trials in the Solent, just making sure it could do all the things it was meant to do, and then we embarked a 40 commander group and went down to Sierra Leone. And during this time I got quite chummy with the chief engineer on Mounts Bay, and he said to me, "What are you going to do when you leave the army?" To which I said, "I have no idea." And he said, "Well, it's pretty obvious really, isn't it? You're a yacht master and a chartered engineer. Become a marine surveyor," he said. "What's that?" I said. So I went away and looked into becoming a marine surveyor. I did a year-long diploma with the International Institute of Marine Surveying, their yacht and small craft surveying diploma. Completed that, set up my own business, built a website, printed some business cards, and wandered around the brokers introducing myself. Now at the time, I was living up on the Moray Firth up in the north of Scotland, so I was the only small craft surveyor there, which meant I had the market to myself, which was great. However, Google still thinks I'm there, and every year I'll get at least one phone call from somebody up on the Moray Firth asking if I'm still doing surveys there. But anyway, so what then followed was 11 years travelling around the world as my wife was still serving in the military. So I'd go somewhere new, visit all the brokers, hand out the business cards, do the introductions, just get the business going again, and then sure enough we'd move and we'd be off to somewhere new. But then I settled down in the southwest, and if you can see behind me, I'm down here in Plymouth, down at Queen Anne's Battery, which is kind of like my home port if you like. I love the fact that the office changes every day I go to work. It's always going to be a different boat, in a different boatyard, and some places I know quite well, and other times it's somewhere completely new. I also meet an ever-changing cast of people: brokers, owners, buyers, clients, boatyard technicians. I love meeting new people, that's another great part of it. But fundamentally at its heart, it's just a job messing about in boats and telling people what I think about them. I quite enjoy the technical writing bit of it as well, that's good fun. And now that I've been doing it for 18 years now, I enjoy sharing the knowledge I've gained with other people. Helping people understand boats better has become my mission. And I do that through my YouTube videos, through writing my Boat Chat newsletter, writing blogs and the like. I think it's really important to share that knowledge because boats are complicated things, and certainly if you're a first-time buyer, you really do need to get some knowledge under your belt so you can make wise decisions before choosing a boat that's right for you. As an aside, if you're looking to buy your first boat, I've written a 50-page book called How to Buy Your First Boat, packed with tips and advice from an experienced marine surveyor who's been advising first-time buyers since 2008. Download it for free. Just go to boatchat.uk and you'll find it there. So would I recommend being a marine surveyor? Yes, I would. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time doing it. Now, if you think you could fancy a career in marine surveying, my strong piece of advice would be go and buy a decent book to get you going. I would recommend Paul Stevens' book, Surveying Yacht and Small Craft, a really good kind of introduction into the sort of the nitty-gritty of being a marine surveyor, what sort of things you're looking for, how you need to write about them and the like. A really good description of, if you like, the day-to-day beings of a marine surveyor. Well worth getting. Now, if watching all of this hasn't put you off, check out this video here where I was doing a survey on a houseboat with some strange corrosion underneath, but it'll give you a feel for one extreme of the offices that I tend to go to. It's not all shiny pontoons with 24-hour access. Sometimes you quite literally are crawling around in the mud. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all that. I'll see you all next time.